welcome back, guys. It is Hard Reads. I am TK Breezy, and we have Austy, and of course, our special guest, D1. How you doing, D1?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me, dog.
Yeah, no problem, guys. How you doing, Austy?
I'm doing good, man. I had a good trip back home. How about you?
I mean, the drive was cool. I actually left Glitch right after like top 8 was done. It's like the introvert side of things allows me to just like chill out and for like a 5-hour drive back home and like listen to a bunch of music I want to. So it's pretty cool. But speaking of, as the guy said, we have a special guest D1 here, so we have some topics geared toward him. But as first, if you guys did not see the graphic, our topics today will be about Glitch. Also, Mainstage, what's happening next week. PGR tiers, which basically wrapped up into Glitch, and then of course, also from Glitch, pop-off culture. So I mean, some crazy amount of pop-offs there, a bunch of tweets about pop-offs and things like that. But we'll get into that a little later. First up, obviously, is Glitch, and ESAM wins. ESAM wins for the home team, and the home team being us Brawl boys or Melee boys or old heads, because I mean, all these new kids come in during Smash 4 or whatever, think they all nice. Nah, man, we got Brawl legend and also still a pretty good Melee player, ESAM, taking this ultimate win. And so, what do you guys feel about that?
Honestly, I myself am really happy just to see ESAM finally be able to get that big win. You could tell it meant a lot to him too, with the way he emoted on stage, right? He plays a character that a lot of people don't play, which is almost similar to seeing like what Elegant has to go through when he plays Luigi, right? So to be the best representative of your character, it's a really tough challenge to have. Even though it's great to be the best player of that character, you don't have many inspirations to go off of. But ESAM, one thing that's great about him is that he's the type of person that if he sees other people do things that he should probably add to his repertoire, he will add it. So, like even if a person may not be the best representative, it's always good to try to pick up from your other peers. But obviously, he is the best Pikachu. So again, it can be tough for him to procure great results. And I'm proud of him to be able to like take it all the way, with a character that some people theorize could be one of the best characters in the game. And with that, with the results that you saw from him this past weekend, I think it's not out of the question that Pikachu can be among the top 5 or at least the top 10 if you don't agree with top 5.
I mean, that's actually what ESAM thinks sometimes. Like, like ESAM's the one that always pushes Pikachu as being like top 3, top 5, whatever. So he's very stubborn in that regard. So he doesn't see himself as like playing a lesser tier or a lesser character. He actually sees himself as playing like one of the best. And honestly, his win was a long time coming, bro. Like he finally got it after all. Like, did he even win anything in Smash 4? Like a big tournament, like a big major?
I mean, I think he's won like Combo Breaker, but like those are kind of small on scale. I mean, he's probably won something else. I just can't think of it, but I know that as far as like what I know that he's won, I know he's won at least one Combo Breaker. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess it has been a long time coming for ESAM. He's always been the top player, gets to a decent amount of top 8s, and he's always been the one to rep his character to the level that most people are like, oh, I got to learn from this guy. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised because a lot of people were mostly talking about Nairo actually taking this tournament. I feel like not a lot of people were bringing up the fact that ESAM also had a chance to win this tournament. This was a tournament for Nairo to win. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but the Buzz went Super Saiyan mode in losers and didn't want to hear any of that. So good stuff to the Buzz. But yeah, I really like looking at the bracket. I was for sure that it was going to be a Nairo win, and ESAM surprised me with the come from. Well, I don't want to say come from behind win, just more so like a wild card win, if anything. Like I just wasn't really thinking too much about ESAM's bracket or anything like that. But yeah, he had the key to victory right there, and it was just his solid gameplay.
Yeah, and I think if you look at even just the players that he was able to take out, right? Like, in pools, he played like Burnt Sox, which is not actually a pretty good player. He went 2-1 versus Burnt Sox. Like that was his first battle.
Yo, honestly, I was watching that one too, and Burnt Sox actually had the win if he up smashed out of shield instead of down smash. He drop shield, down smash the dash attack, and instead of up smashing out of shield, and he would have won the set. And because of that, ESAM got another chance at life, and he took that and won. So yeah, it was a tight battle. It was a tight battle.
Like literally, I feel like everyone like had that too. Like look at Nairo versus ESAM in winners. That was close. Went to game 5, I believe. So like. Go ahead.
I was going to say, funny enough, Nairo versus ESAM, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a situation too where I don't know. I don't think it was Nairo versus ESAM, but maybe it was Tweak versus ESAM, where there was a dash attack on Lilac, and it didn't get punished out of, it was Tweak. It was Tweak. Apologies. It was Tweak. He could have punished out of shield on a dash attack, and he didn't get it.
I always hate to see that happen, man. Like, so yeah, I'm talking about DeBuzz for a bit. That dude literally, like, he was in a terrible mindset that entire day. Like, he was just not feeling good. He changed his Twitter name to Bad at Bad. Like, he just wasn't, and then he gets third. So like, what the hell?
I mean, sometimes that anti-motivation works. That was what Salem said when he won Evo. He was like, "Yes, I just go on every match thinking I'm gonna lose," and I was like, "Oh."
That's so unhealthy.
Yeah, bro. And then you win the whole thing. So yeah, that was very interesting. I mean, it's very interesting mindset to have, but it definitely works out for some people. And it seems that it's as though it definitely worked out for not ESAM, for DeBuzz to get all the way to third at least.
Yeah, dude. And if you just look at the rest of his ESAM's warpath, right? Like, I didn't even mention like the other people he beat in pools, like Ninja beating Fairfox and Malcolm, but going into bracket, beating Leon 3-0, a player who a lot of cats have been getting blown up by, honestly, with his like sick Bowser. But ESAM was able to 3-0 him. Then he 2-0 Suarez before that. Well, actually in the pool, the same pool. And he also managed to get a 3-1 on Light in winners semifinals. And before that, beating Tweak 3-1 on Light and Tweak. And then the Nairo battle was actually pretty close. Just these big PGR wins, dude. That's what also made ESAM really happy, regardless of, the controversy that happened where it was like, what is it, Schroeder dropped or something, guys? And there were other people, I guess, that were didn't show up.
I think Elegant dropped it as well.
Okay, so Elegant and Schroeder dropped, which made it go from S tier to A tier.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm very happy.
Yeah, bro. That's an S tier to me, bro. I don't think that's fair for people to be able to sign up and do something like that and just kind of drop out. Especially, well, I'm not gonna go into it. Wherever. I just think that is unfair for your like prize to be stripped away just like that, just because two people decided. Well, Elegant has good reason. Elegant definitely has good reason. But if for any other situation where someone signs up or whatever, unless it was like a mass exodus of top players, unless it was like all top 8 seeds decided, I'm not going. All right, we can talk about it. But I think that, Schroeder and Elegant, I mean, they definitely hold a lot of weight for a tournament, but I don't think it should have held that much weight to the point where now ESAM is robbed of saying he won an S tier. At least call it S- tier. I don't know. Call it something. Like, it's just unfair for it to go from S and A because, he still won an amazing tournament. When you go back in history, like, people are going to be talking about the fact that it was A tier or instead of S tier, or they're not going to look at it as quickly because it wasn't an S tier when it originally was an S tier. So, big rip.
That was one of the arguments that the PGR stats guys came up with, is that like it's not worth that much less point wise. Like a point value, it's still worth like it was just inches away from being an S tier worth of points. So it's still worth a lot. It's like the higher the higher tier of A. But the problem is, like, it's not about that. It's about the prestige of S tier. Now, for the rest of ESAM's career, until he wins an S tier, he'll be known as winning an A tier.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully he gets another S tier, and then he can, like, shush all the naysayers. Not to say that. I feel like everyone was basically on his side, and I don't think anyone was like, ha, you want an A tier instead of S. But most people were on his side, so good stuff to him. Again, major props to ESAM for making it happen with Pikachu. Only real big Pikachu is doing it like that. I mean, there's obviously good Pikachu players out there, but as far as like the top, it's always going to be ESAM. So, all right. With that being said, let's go ahead and look forward to Mainstage, which has some of the people that are missing from Glitch actually showing up. That people being MK Leo will be back, and also as well as Mars. So the top 8 seeds. Let's actually do top 16. I always like to do top 16. Top 16 seeds. Where is it projected? All right. Got MK Leo, DeBuzz, Mars Gluttony, Samsora Light, Tweak and Nairo, Nico, Zach Ray, okay, Salem and Rido, Schroeder and T, and then Void and Meister are the top 16. This is the top 16 projected bracket right now. So from the winner side of things, though, if we're talking about the top from the winner side, it's going to be MKLeo versus DeBuzz, Mars versus Gluttony, Samsora versus Light, and then Tweak versus Nairo. But on the loser side of things, you have Nico versus Zach Ray, Salem versus Rido, Schroeder versus T, and Void versus Meister. So Definitely a very interesting top 8. I will say that I didn't know this many Japanese players are showing up actually to main stage. And I'm very interested to see who they're playing this time around, especially for Zachary. I feel like every time he comes here, he ends up being able to pick up another character and make it look good. You know, like we saw his Rob at Super Smash Con, and I think he's been playing Rob a little bit before then, obviously in Japan. But like, if we're talking about coming to America to show off your character, that's what I'm talking about. And he came to America, showed off that Rob, almost beat MKLeo with it. That would have been crazy. And then yeah, so Rido's probably still gonna be with that Duck Hunt action. I think T will still be with the Pac-Man, but yeah, man, it's nice to see these some of these lesser known characters, I guess, or lesser represented characters getting big rep from Japan.
Yeah, dude, I heard that Zach Ray actually has been even dabbling a lot with Joker, so it would be crazy to see him bust out the Joker at this event. It's yeah, but as far as this event is concerned, it's definitely a first for the guys at BTS. Their first ever major, and we've already seen them there was a Red Bull event that transpired for Melee in the past that had a roast of like Hugo, and now we actually get a chance to see a roast of somebody that a lot of people know, no matter what part of the Smash scene you're from, you know, Bobby Scar. So besides that, though, of course, on the Ultimate side of things, like you said, you know, it's really interesting. It's fun to see the Elite Four back at it again, right? Like Glitch, we had like no MKLeo, no Mars, but we definitely had Samsor and Tweak in attendance, right? And yet neither of those players did win, even though Samsor was able to win it all at SmashCon when all those players were in attendance. So I think what I like most about Ultimate is how hard it is for these players to be able to like keep procuring the same results, you know, even if the game doesn't have the crazy rage that we had to deal with in Smash 4. Like Smash 4 was people were upset, right? Like it was really hard for them to be consistent. In this one, it's not even about rage, it's just more people are still getting used to the game. There's so many characters to learn, and of course, like the mechanics can make it tough for people to deal with. Like we saw Paradin kind of going off about how she hates spot dodge canceling, and in ESAM, you know, he goes and retorts, I played Melee, where they had characters that would have spot dodges that would last 22 frames. So, you're essentially like when a person spot dodge cancels, it's almost as if they're ending their spot dodge around the same frames as a character whose spot dodge ends really quickly in Melee. So to him, it wasn't a big issue. But yeah, either or, the year is about to wrap up for Smash. So, you know, we don't have as many events left for the balance of the year. So I'm excited to see who's going to take it. I was going to ask you guys, if you don't mind me asking, like, who's your pick?
Oh, well, yeah, we usually do that. But I always pick my son. So, you know, yeah, I mean, if I see him in the bracket, I'm just going to pick him anyway. So, yeah, I mean, good stuff. I hope Sam Story actually pops up. He keeps getting in top 8. So at the very least, he's very consistent in getting in the top 8. So it just depends on where he's going to get into the top 8. So,
will this be the tournament that Naro takes? We ask that every single week.
I don't think so. I always want it to be, but I don't think so this time around. I feel like the competition is a little stiff for him this time around. Where I felt like, I mean, even though the competition was still stiff at Glitch, it was competition that he could have overcome. Like in his bracket, I think he can still overcome his competitors in the other in this current bracket that he has in main stage. I just think that it's going to be a lot more brain power and a lot more resilience that he's going to need to go over, especially with if you have to fight MKLeo at any point in time in this bracket. Like it's never over until it's over with MKLeo.
Yeah. I think that with Naro having a slight shot is because him and Mars are on the opposite sides of the bracket. It's like the first time it's ever happened. They always fight each other like winners quarters or winners semis. Like they're always on the same side. Yeah. So maybe that'll be the boost he needs, but we'll see. It all depends what comes down to it, you know.
I just wanted to explain that Glitch, that was a straight up Ultimate tournament. Mainstage will actually have Melee as well. I feel like that has almost not even been talked about. But just a quick look into the Melee bracket. You have for the top 8, you have HBox, Leffen, Zane, Axe, Mango, IBDW, who's the most improved player from SmashCon, and STJ and Namsa will be the top 8 Cs. So should be some good Melee action there if you're into that. Leffen's going to be playing. Could potentially get another Leffen HBox Grand Finals. Could also get Zayn up in grand finals as well. Could also get Axe to win. I mean, he won his first big event with the Summit. Let's see if he can actually, win a big tournament here and make it happen as well. Or could get the return of Mango. So a lot of situations can happen in Melee, but just want to take a quick dive into that and say that it's going to be pretty cool to watch some of that Melee action as well as the Rose. So.
Didn't Mewtwo King say he's coming out of retirement like for Melee? Like he's actually attending a Melee tournament?
Yeah, I guess. But then he also said don't expect anything because he's trash now. So
that's the mentality to win.
That's what he said. So I didn't say it. He said it. Okay. So yeah. But anyway, moving on, man. Mainstage should be a good tournament. It's gonna be this weekend. I'll be there. EE and me will be doing top 8 for as far as commentary goes. I think I have a block with Bam, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, man, definitely check out Mainstage. BTS, the first big major event that's not like the Summit or something like that. They also, they helped out with Full Bloom as well, but this is like BTS owned and ran and thing like that, like built from the ground up BTS. Also, I think I'll give a really big shout out to Mainstage, because for a long time I thought that tournament was gonna flop because it had like 10 entrants for like ever, and I was like, oh no. And then I guess it just kind of blew up. So good stuff to Mainstage for blowing up and getting more entrants in time to not look like it's about to be one of those shams. No sham.
That's the Smasher Classic, dog. Sign up last second.
Yeah.
Yep. As a person who used to work with the Apex team, like they would, the TOs would always freak out because it's like, oh my God, we're not gonna fill up the hotel blocks. People aren't gonna sign up. And then last second, Smashers the week of, yo, could you extend the deadline? Let me in. And it's
every time
crazy,
bro.
Every time. But I was gonna ask something. Just to be clear, as far as like the second season is concerned, is SmashCon the first event of the second season for the PPRU?
No, it was Low Tier City, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Low Tier City.
Low Tier City, okay. Yeah. So Nairo didn't attend that one because I was just looking through Nairo's placements, and with Austy talking about would this be Nairo's event? What I was going to ask you guys is, do you think it can be because of him having 5th at SmashCon, 3rd at Shine, 4th at Glitch? He's getting close.
Yeah, he's getting close.
He's definitely close.
He keeps getting top 8.
I think every event honestly can be a Nairo event. It's just when he gets in that top 8, man, that's when the competition gets real thick. Gets real stiff, and sometimes I think now that he's starting to like delve into actually playing his secondaries more, that's helping his spread as well. I mean, like we saw at Shine, he used his Robin to go over Leon's Bowser. Like that was crazy. And his Robin, it wasn't like a close game either. I mean, I think it was 3-1, but like those Robin games that he won were like very, very much into his favor. So good stuff to Nairo. I like the fact that we're seeing more of his secondaries. I would like the Lucina to come back at some point in time. I haven't seen the Lucina in a while. I think Lucina's still a very. Did she play Lucina? Glitch 6. Oh, sorry, that was last
Glitch.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, that was so hype. I went crazy when he went Lucina against. Like, that was so sick. But even I think one of the things that he's gonna have to focus on are just some of his demons. When you look at like a lot of the events he attended, there was a common theme of him losing to Mars, right? Until he finally was able to actually like beat Mars recently in a set after getting like a long streak of back-to-back consistent losses. And then now the moment, and also like for SmashCon and Shine, he lost to not only Mars but MK Leo back-to-back for those events. So it's crazy how an event where they're both not there, going back to what Austy said, this is the Nairo event, he loses to ESAM and Buzz. So yeah, it's he definitely has a lot of work cut out for him. But
and every time that Nairo beats him too, like he always loses to him, like whether it's in winners or losers. So like they trade sets a lot. Mm-hmm. Like at Shine, he got sent to losers by Mars, but then ended up winning in losers.
Yeah.
So that's tough. The double jeopardy nonsense.
Yeah. So we have I guess we can move on to our next topic, which is the next bigger topic. Was the PGR tiers? So I feel like we kind of like wrapped that up already within the glitch talk. But just, do you think there's any type of system that they could implement to like kind of like fix little discrepancies, like what happened with glitch? Do you think there's anything we can do, or is it's just bound to happen at some point in time? You got to roll with the punches.
I think it's tough to fix from like the community standpoint, or like try to like look at it when we don't really know the formula. I get why Panda Global hides it, so people don't try to scum the rankings, and they don't try to like dodge tournaments or whatever. But the fact that we don't really know how the rankings work, it's hard to like come up with a solution.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting too because I feel like the PGR really does determine what tournaments will be successful or not now. Because you know, if there's a projected PGR tournament, it's only going to be projected to be like a B tier. You know, a lot of people won't show up because like, all right, whatever, don't need the points, cool, whatever. But when it's projected to be an S tier or whatever, even though some of these tournaments are also popping off because of legacy, obviously, you know, Genesis, even without the PGR was popping, Evo, even without the PGR would be popping, but just I think it can be a little hard as a TL who wants to possibly start up another tournament and then realize like you don't really have the reach or the claim to make your tournament a huge factor for the PGR, and then therefore you won't be able to get these top players out here to, you know, endorse your tournament and things like that. And it can be a little rough, but that's also just growing pains as well. So
I don't know. I guess the one thing that always felt weird to me is if you already have an event that is locked in as an X tier and people drop out when they were already in the bracket, like I know how some people were upset at the fact that they committed to the event because it's an S tier, but would the event actually be like, would they actually feel good in an event still being regarded as an S tier when what made it an S tier is not present anymore? Like, it's just an interesting question, right?
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, if they committed, spent money, and decided to go out because the event hit S tier status, it should be locked in, and maybe I don't know. I don't want to penalize players that don't attend, or maybe there should be something that like that gets changed with Panda Global's system when it comes to ranking events.
I remember when Blur, I was talking with Blur like a while ago, and he brought up how it'd be cool if PGR could assign tournaments rankings like months in advance and just lock it in immediately. Because then people know, hey, you know, Evo is going to be an S tier, SmashCon is going to be an S tier, Glitch will be an A tier or an S tier. Like they announce it well in advance so people can plan to go there. Because I know Nairo's had his gripes with not being informed, because I know he wanted to go to low tier city, and he wanted to go to the invitational that was at Thunder Smash 2, that was a C tier, and he didn't know they were going to be PGR, or else he would have gone. Yeah. So I just think that just needs to be more transparency. I love like Swar and all the PGR guys. Like they're doing a lot of good, like God's work for Smash, and they get a lot of hate that it's kind of undeserved for doing what they're doing, you know. But I think people just want transparency. I think that's all it comes down to.
Dan says he feels like that requires PGR endorsement, and I feel that. I feel like, but I feel like where how important PGR is to the Smash scene now, that they should, you know, look into endorsing more tournaments like that. You know, like it should be like, hey man, you know, this is going to be a high flying tournament because we have these many players. It's already guaranteed an S tier, you know, something like that. But usually we don't really find out about the tier until like, I don't know, a couple of days for the tournament or something like that. And then unfortunately for ESAM, we found out that the tier moved during the tournament, and it was like right at the end too, which is like, oh man, that's rough. But,
bro, it was funny because like on the mic we were saying stuff like, yeah, this is an S tier tournament like days one on day one, and then day two, oh shoot, you know. So
speaking of, you know, now we're still talking about the same tournament. I mean, Glitch really brought a lot of talking points. Pop-offs. There was quite a bit of talk about pop-offs just in general. Some of them were like really wild. Some of them were salty tweets about them. I know we had a tweet from the Buzz that was like, how come every time people, you know, beat me, they basically go Super Saiyan on me or whatever. And he was talking about Light, who I think Light put him out the tournament, right? He put him out the tournament. So when he beat him the second time, he didn't really pop off that hard, which is kind of interesting because I thought he was going to pop off even harder. It seemed like something Light would do. ESAM's pop off over Light for winners finals was
he was possessed.
We didn't know what to say on commentary, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to go that hard. Like he just out of nowhere. So he eventually came to my stream and he was basically just saying that he was like, I'm godlike. I made it into grand finals at one of the, you know, highest tournaments to date, or one of the top tournaments to date or something like that. And he was like, I'm godlike, peaks busted. And that's what he was yelling. But it looked like from the camera, it looked like he was literally yelling at someone in the crowd. And I thought maybe someone was heckling him the entire time. And then he won, so he popped off on that person. And I was like, damn, if that's what we're doing out here, that's crazy. But I don't have an issue with pop-offs as long as they don't get like, you know, as long as we're not getting physical. You know what I'm saying? As long as we're not like, you know, getting super physical. I mean, that has its place too. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, Wolfram had to play against K-Brad, and that was like a legendary pop-off But K-Brad didn't like punch him or anything. He like got into his face, and then Wolf Pro tried to take his headset off. So he took his headset off from him and got him back into his face. Like that's a quality. Like we have history, we have beef pop off. But if I don't know you like that, we don't have history, we don't have beef. Like I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that, man. It's a little much.
I don't know. I feel. Go ahead, go on.
No, I was just gonna say when it comes to pop-offs, I understand where people are coming from, right? They when you're fighting against somebody who's like so difficult in a match, right? Like you probably might have had a mental block against that player. Maybe he's a demon that beats you every single time, and you finally get a chance to beat him. You know, it's great that the adrenaline rush that you get once you finally realize, wow, I won. You know, this is it. I finally overcame the demon. This is insane. You know, like I don't know, dude. It's like, I think it's like one of the best feelings in the world. You get such a crazy high from being able to beat somebody who's like really, really difficult. So I feel like for people from the outside looking in, you know, because I talk to people from, well, we all do actually, talk to people from outside of the Smash scene quite a bit. And recently I've had conversations with people from other esports scenes that are put off by people that pop off. They think it's a bit much. They think it's not sportsmanlike. They're like, once you win, you should be respectful, not damage the equipment, stuff like that, which I agree with. Don't damage the equipment, right? Don't take the chair. Don't keep slamming it into the stage. Don't break the headset, things like that. You know, calm down. But like, if you're excited and you want to just cheer, say yes at the top of your lungs, whatever, jump, okay, that's cool, you know, do a little victory lap, but don't try to destroy anything, which sometimes I've seen people doing. That's, you know, I feel like once you start doing that, other people may feel like it's okay for them to do it. Now they have the green light to want to go and, I don't know, pick up a TV and toss it because they won, you know, things like that. So I think pop-ups are cool as long as you're not destroying the venue, destroying the equipment, and it's just you emoting. You know, you're really excited, you cheer, you jump. You know, maybe like you do something that isn't gonna like destroy anybody or hurt anybody, right? You have to also be careful for that too.
I think it's interesting that we bring up respect in a pop off because I know that people pop off on me all the time in friendlies. I could be playing my like third-dairy character. My fucking tertiary character, you know, I'm like, oh, I just want to try Banjo out today. They'll win. They'll be popping off on me and shit. But there's no respect there. But let me pop off in a friendly. Let me pop off in a friendly. Like, wow, man, TK Breezy is such a dick. We were playing friendlies and he spiked me and he popped off. There's no respect in pop offs, man. I think it's like there's respect. I feel like there's respect when you're at a top level and it's in the top 8. But any other time, you don't need to be popping off anywhere else, bro. You don't need to be popping off literally anywhere else.
Bro, I agreed. I think the only reason it's controversial is because of DeBuzz's tweet, though, because literally DeBuzz has popped off on like every week, and I can understand that
he pops off too, though. Even though
he does.
Pop-offs aren't that good, like he still pops off too. Like I think it's interesting that you can't complain if you're also doing it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like I think that it all spurred because of that. Because like, wow, DeBuzz has been popped off on so much in the past 3 weeks, but it's fine. Like at high levels, like you said, I see it as respect that you pop off. It's like, man, they overcame someone. They thought you were really high level, so they got the win. You know,
I get that pop off though because I've in the early stages of Smash 4, I had to play against Denobro. And he was basically just trying to camp me out with Duck Hunt. And so I won with like 10 seconds left. And I popped off on him because it's not about like because you're a better player than me. It's because you wanted to make the game frustrating and it didn't work. So therefore, I win. I'm gonna pop off. That's almost the same way that it works with the Buzz. Like he plays a very defensive play style. And even though like if you are a person that plays a defensive play style or you're a person that plays Olimar or Rosalina, you want to learn, like that's good. That's good footage to watch. I mean, DeBuzz is actually, he's a really good player and he understands how to make this game work for him. However, if you're playing against it and you have to play through that the entire time and you're an aggressive player and you have to somehow like now slow yourself down to play at his level and you beat him at his game or you beat him on his turf, basically, then I understand why you pop off. Like, I definitely understand why you pop off there. So,
yeah, there's just an adrenaline rush about overcoming something that you just hated. So.
Yeah. Again, like the main thing I'm focusing on is at least respecting the actual venue, right? Like not destroying anything around you. As far as the pop-off is concerned, like if you're on the receiving end, we've been part of a scene where people are mad that a lot of people were trying to esportsify it. So if people want to still keep the scene authentic, complaining about pop-offs will only cause to make things more like homogenized, right? Like it'll just reach the point where everything's super dry. You'll do your match, you get up, you shake the person's hand, and then you just walk off stage. I for one, am a fan of seeing people still get excited whenever they get a big win. Because, I mean, even the people in the crowd, they get a rush off of that, right? Like, that's what separates Smash and fighting games from the rest of esports. Like, a lot of these guys, they have a personality, and they can be as, you know, they can emote as much as they want, as long as nobody's hurt in the process or anything, you know, anything that isn't theirs isn't hurt either.
Yeah. I mean, pop-offs are here to stay, bro.
Hell yeah.
What kind of rule could you even make against that? You popped off. That's a 1-game penalty. Like, imagine, like, oh man, all right. Well, it looks like you actually lost the set now, or we're now tied up 3-3 because you wanted to pop off in a Game 5 situation.
The degree of the pop off,
play a 4-7. So yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, it's here to stay. Obviously, I don't think you need to pop off on every opponent, but I understand where pop-offs come from, especially if it's a Game 5 high pressure, high intense situation where any hit is going to be the end. If you get the last hit, you're overfilled with joy, you're probably going to hop out your seat. I get it, you know? Yeah.
And honestly, audiences at home and us, odds are we'll never be able to experience what they do. You know, winning a tournament and with so much competition, like the people always say that it's like an unexplainable rush, and like we'll never know what that's like, and you know. So like I get it when like they just can't help themselves. So
yeah. So I mean, there it is. I also, I mean, I want to give a quick shout out to Buzz. He's like actually been able to rally people on his side. He's he's always talking about how like basically, oh, everyone's always against him, whatever, and like that's true. I mean, it is gameplay style that people don't really enjoy, and that's okay. Like I mean, as a commentator, I'm not gonna fault him for it. Like I get what you're playing to win. You know what I'm saying? So it works out for you. However, the Buzz also has had a long time. We talked about this on the last show. The Buzz has gone through a lot just to play this game, just because he wants to play defensively. Like he has everyone's always, coming at his neck or saying rude stuff to him. Like it's been in person, it's been on Twitter. He said he's got death threats before. All that stuff's not cool. And I'm glad that like he's starting to shift favor and at least get somewhat of a little bit of a fan base that rocks with him and appreciates, what he says and what he does and all that good stuff. So, and how he plays.
Real rap, if a person is really good and they get popped off on, I think that's respect for the player. But if the player is like, he's not even all of that, whatever, and you actually are a jerk and you're out here like popping off, like, like let's say in my case, what if I retired from a particular game for years, right? Maybe even a decade plus. And then I decide to just randomly want to enter. But because of the fact that I'm a name, if the person plays me in a tournament, all of a sudden they get really excited and pop off. Similar to what you mentioned even to TK, right? Where you just randomly decide to play like Banjo and a person goes nuts in a friendly. It's like, all right, man, like it's not even that serious, So there's definitely times and places where it's actually, where I feel like it's actually like socially acceptable, where you're in a tournament match, there's a lot on the line, and this player is a big deal. The win means a lot to you pop off because you win. But you're playing a random friendly. Maybe you felt a lot of pressure playing that person because they're really good, and then you beat them and you're, yes. And it's like, bro, that was just a friendly though. Like if he did something really hype and then pops off, like you caught me in some really sick ass like setup that you probably were practicing forever in training mode. You finally do it. So to you, it's a big deal. And I'll be like, like I get it. What you did was fire, and I'm gonna have to respect that. You got me. But if you literally just played a regular match and then you won and you pop off, I'm gonna be like, all right, man, like that's crazy.
Yeah, man, round one pool is popping off like that. Come on, bro. Like, calm down. So, but yeah, man. As I said, man, they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Neither is the Smash community. Neither is the Buzz. And neither is anybody else who just loves to pop off like that. So again, you guys, we're going to be at Mainstage this weekend. Make sure you go ahead and watch that tournament. It's going to be it's BTS's first major out in SoCal. So we'll be out there chilling in sunny SoCal as well with the boys. So enjoy that. Probably check most of our Instagram stories and things like that. We usually keep up with each other like that. This has been Hard Reads. I'm TK Breeze. This is D1. Thank you for joining the episode this time, D1.
Yeah, this was fun, man. I liked all the chats, and I can't wait to see you guys this weekend. At first, I wasn't gonna go to Mainstage and just like chill at home, but the homies keep telling me to come out and see you guys. So I was like, you know what? You guys don't live in SoCal. Let me not be lazy. So I'm gonna see you guys this weekend. Literally in your backyard.
Yeah, this is a weekly thing. If you guys are asking, we do this every week on Wednesday at the same time, assuming that there's no like crazy emergencies, no one's in the hospital, no one's stuck anywhere, or internet doesn't cut or anything like that. We will do this show almost every time. We'll probably try to have more guests on in the future. The D1's actually our first guest, so clap it up for D1. You know what I'm saying? A quick
thank you, man.
Quick clap it up for D1. There we go.
Give him a little clapperoo.
And also, if you did not see most of the episode, then you can definitely check out all of the episode on iTunes and check out our Apple podcast. It's actually super important that you check out the Apple podcast because the more hits we get on that, the more stuff that we can provide to you guys as a podcast service, as well as certain giveaways and things like that we can do in the future. So if you have not already checked out the Apple iTunes store or the iTunes store for Prediction, make sure you check out Prediction that you can get into all of these podcasts. And we're not the only one too. There, if you like TFT, if you like Dota and more, we have way more podcasts as well that go on weekly throughout this channel. So hit a follow here. This video, the one that you're watching right now, will go up on my YouTube. And then if you want to just listen to it in podcast form, check it out on Apple as Prediction just linked in the chat. So thank you DC for showing up right at the end of the show. We love you. We'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.